Protest enters day 3 as organizers shun calls to end demonstrations. NLC raises alarm over large-scale killing of protesters by police. Zulum lifts curfew, condoles with bomb victim families. And on the foreign scene, Al-Qaeda affiliate says it has taken 2 Russians hostage in Niger. Hello and welcome to Trust TV's news updates. I am Chiamaka Mwafo. Thank you for joining us. Now, as the End Hunger protest enters its 3rd day, protesters continued the demonstrations despite the violence that claimed lives. Mostly youths were seen at the Ali Akilu and Amadou Bello Way in the heart of Kaduna City. The protesters, who carried placards and leaves chanting solidarity songs in Hausa, said all they need is good leadership. The protest was carried out in a peaceful atmosphere.
Here to protest for our rights, because government are not doing well for us. Everything has cost and we are suffering for this life. Everything is costing, and if something gets high in price and it's not coming down, so we are protesting for our rights. We want everything to come as normal as it was before. Are you going to? Yes, we are doing it peacefully. We are not vandalizing anything. We are not looting. We are not causing any crisis. We are doing it peacefully here.
Over in Plateau State, as a nationwide hunger protest enters its 3rd day, protesters in the state have blamed governors of the 36 states as well as the National Assembly for contributing to the hardship citizens are facing through poor leadership. The protesters stated this at the All Airport Junction venue of the nationwide protest in the state. Adu Musa completes the report.
Unlike other states of the country, where the protest was marred by violence, looting and vandalism, the exercise in Plateau State has been peaceful. The protesters, while blaming governors and members of National Assembly for not doing enough to cushion the hardship in the country, emphasized the need for all participants to remain law-abiding.
Let Nigerian people, let Hausa people, let Igbo people, let Yoruba people, I want to hear, I want to talk. Can somebody shout victory? Honda ya say Yoruba wa? Honda ya say Hausa wa? Honda no Igbo? We are not here because we are jobless. We are here because things must be done right. Our problem is not Tinubu, our problem is Nigerian governance. The Senate, the House of Assembly, all of the parastatals. We can't elect them and they are enjoying our suffering.
Today, people can no longer go to school. Yeah. Today, people can no longer farm because the fertilizer is too much. The amount is too much. Farmers cannot even buy it. Yes. Even if you buy fertilizer, you cannot go to farm because there is insecurity.
Their children are abroad. They divide us to rule us. They make the pastors. They bribe our pastors, they bribe our imams, they bribe our sheikhs, so that they will keep quiet, they keep oppressing us.
The protesters also blame religious leaders for contributing to the poor leadership in the country by not calling out elected representatives and speaking truth to power.
Akwai leaders da suka yi tunani idan mun zo nan da a yi rikici saboda su suka sa mana rikicin addini. In Allah ya da rikicin.
There are political and religious leaders who believe that if people come for the protest, crisis may erupt because they are the ones who incite religious crisis in the state. By the special grace of God, religious crisis is over in the state. We will not listen to any pastor or imam directing us to elect a particular leader. That is over. We will henceforth vote for the right candidate.
We are standing here as Nigerians. We are not standing here as Muslims or Christians. We are standing here because there is hunger in our land. We can't be in Nigeria and remain quiet where 10% of our citizens are enjoying and 99%, 90% are suffering. We won't be quiet in a country where the elites are downcasting us and degrading us to nothing. We won't be quiet in a country whereby there is no food, there is hunger.
The former Minister of Youth and Sport and one of the organizers of the protest explains why the ongoing protest is peaceful in the state.
People have been asking for what is the magic of the success of the protest of this plateau protest. The magic is that the leaders, two leaders, decided to sacrifice their time to identify with the youth. We understood their language. We understood the problem. And so we are here to provide them with leadership, with guidance, so that they can conduct themselves and express themselves. Any person whom you stifle from expression of his mind is likely going to react violently.
Security operatives, including the police, Operation Safe Haven, as well as other security agencies, have commended the protesters for conducting themselves peacefully in the state. Ado Musa, Trust TV News, Jos.
We go down south to Lagos State, where the nationwide protests against hunger have entered the third day, with the protesters in the state gathering at the Ojota end of the state. While only a handful of them were around in the early hours of the day, the number, however, increased with time. They had placards with different inscriptions to shore up momentum for their demands, which included the reversal of the fuel subsidy removal, among others. The protesters, who chanted different songs, lamented the insensitivity of the government to the plight of the ordinary Nigerians, especially in the wake of the devaluation, which has seen the value of the naira slump to a historic low. Police officers were on the ground at the rally venue to ensure a hitch-free procession. The protesters vowed to take protest to Alausa, other strategic places in Lagos State.
As much as the protest is peaceful, nobody is being attacked. They are still, even these are possibly moving. No vehicles attacked. Boys are moving. They are not there to express their grievances against the poor policy of the government. That's why they are outside, and they want to continue to be outside to continue to demand our demands for better governance in Nigeria.
Our achievements have gone so far ever since this agitation came on limelight. You can see the government have, somewhere or the other, they are jittery, and at the end they are trying to put some things in order. As at now, protests in Lagos is law and order have not been breached. Everywhere is calm. This is a peaceful protest that we emphasize for. It's still peaceful.
Tuber of yam costs close to 10,000 naira. Help us to reduce food inflation, reduce general inflation, reduce unemployment, reverse electricity bill by electricity tariff back to the normal price. We just suddenly wake up and we see all sort of band, 200 naira, 300 naira for different tariff. Reverse it.
You cannot start telling protesters how they should show their anger to the government. It means you are still trying to cage us. You don't want that freedom for us. Even our president had protested in the past. There was no one actually told him that this is where you should go, this is where you should not go. So this should not be happening.
Now, the police on Saturday said a policeman who was reportedly murdered on the first day of the hashtag End Bad Governance nationwide protest has miraculously survived. 9 police officers sustained various degrees of injuries during attacks by protesters. One of them, who initially reported dead, miraculously survived but remains in critical condition. First spokesman Muyiwa Adejobi said in a statement on Saturday. Adejobi also said a total of 618 suspects have been arrested so far for various violent crimes during the protest. Suspects were arrested in Abuja, Gombe, Jigawa, Kaduna, Kano, Katsina, Nasarawa and Sokoto states. At a briefing on Thursday, the Inspector General of Police IGP Kayode Egbetokun had said a policeman was murdered while on duty during the hashtag End Bad Governance nationwide protest. He had lamented that events in major cities on Thursday were mass uprising and looting, not protests. Activist Deji Adeyanju had on the same day challenged the IGP to name the policeman he claimed was killed, insisting that it was not true that it took place. The leadership of the organized labor on Saturday warned the Nigerian police force and other security agencies to stop what it described as massacre of protesters carrying out nationwide demonstrations against hunger in the land. It also called on President Tinubu to solve the present crisis in the country and address the demands of protesting Nigerians, while also demanding that he should call the operatives to order. President of Nigeria Labour Congress, Joe Ajaero, said that the clearest path to a lasting solution is for the government to sit down with leaders of the protest and negotiate in good faith, insisting that threats by police and the military would not solve anything. Ajaero also questioned the professionalism of the police high command and its officers, said the police, as the lead security agency in managing internal security, have questions to answer as regards the death of innocent protesters across the nation. The Labour leader said the police officers should divert their energy towards marauding bandits wreaking havoc in the country and be brutal against them rather than innocent Nigerians demanding their rights. To no reactions, the People's Democratic Party (PDP) has criticized President Bola Tinubu for not addressing the nation amid the nationwide End Bad Governance protest. Amid severe economic hardships, many Nigerians are struggling to afford basic necessities. In response, youth began protest on Thursday, continuing into Friday across Abuja, Lagos, Kaduna, Kano, Rivers, and other regions, demanding an end to hunger and poor governance. In a statement released on Saturday by its Publicity Secretary Debo Olongoagba, the PDP urged Tinubu to break his silence, address the nation immediately, and reassure citizens of the pressing issues affecting them. The opposition party also demanded a comprehensive investigation into the reported killings of unarmed Nigerians, allegedly by security operatives. In Bor State, Governor Babagana Zulum has commiserated with hospitalized victims of the Kawuri blast that killed 20 people, as well as those injured during the hunger protest in Maiduguri. He was speaking at the specialist hospital in Maiduguri with government officials who were on a sympathy visit to the victims. Trust TV's Beatrice Kurutsi has more.
Speaking to newsmen shortly after exiting the ward, Governor Zulum expressed displeasure with the bomb attack that happened in Kawuri community of Konduga local government, as well as the hunger protest in Maiduguri, which led to looting and vandalism by supposed protesters. He said the state government will utilize urea fertilizers for security purposes.
As the security situation improves, we decided to use urea fertilizers. I cannot judge by now, but I think we shall discuss with the researcher with a view to determining the potentials of urea in making explosives. If the fertilizers are, if the usage of fertilizers will bring such problems, I think there's a need for us to review the policy of Borno State government as regards the utilization of urea fertilizer in Borno State. But looking at the entire scenario, you can understand that something has gone wrong. Over 90% of the protesters are children. Most of them are below the age of 9, 10. And it is unfortunate that most of them don't have parents.
Meanwhile, the governor in a Saturday morning state broadcast condemned the killings and injuries of Kawuri community bomb explosions and other attacks carried out by Boko Haram terrorists and ISWAP, while condemning the destruction, looting and vandalization of properties. Zulum frowned at the use of children during violent demonstrations, warning that any further protest laced with the intention of committing criminal offenses will be severely dealt with. The governor suspended the curfew, advising residents to resume their legitimate activities, assuring of his commitment to cushion the effects of economic hardships and hunger crisis.
A 6-year-old child carrying a black cat is amazing.
It must have been directed by someone. Most of those children are not from Borno State. While you are not discouraging the Almajiri education, children must, however, have their teachers, parents or guardians looking after them. A situation where thousands of children living in Maiduguri without care from anyone in the name of Almajiri must be looked into. I wish to equally express my sympathy to all the innocent people who were affected by Thursday's so-called protests marred with violence, vandalism and looting of properties. The government of Borno State will not relent in its efforts to ensure peace and prosperity in all parts of the state. Implemented various measures to ease hardships and foster development in our communities, from improving infrastructure to investing in education and healthcare, foreign and local scholarships worth millions have been awarded. Fellow citizens, we are dedicated to creating a better quality of life for all citizens of Borno State.
The governor added that he has taken note of the agitations of the protesters, assuring that the state government will partner with the federal government and other stakeholders to alleviate the sufferings of the people. Bitrus Kuruti, Trust TV News, Maiduguri.
The caretaker chairman of the Kababunu local government area of Kogi State, Zacchaeus Dari, who was abducted on Friday night by gunmen, has regained his freedom. The State Police Public Relations Officer William Aya confirmed this on Saturday morning. Aya said the caretaker chairman was kidnapped on Friday night along the Kaba-Okene Road in the Kaba area of the state. The Kogi PPRO explained that the chairman escaped from the kidnappers while his aides were taken by the abductor to an unknown destination. But a statement on Saturday by the Owe Political Forum indicated that the chairman was released by his abductors. Over in Kaduna State, the family of Hussein Tur, who was shot on the first day of the hunger protest in Kaduna State, is calling on the government to come to their aid. According to the family, the victim was shot while on his way to the hospital at Tudunwada. Trosivis Bellu visited the family residence at Abakba in the metropolis. Here's the report.
It was a black day for this family as their father was shot on the day of the protest. Though he was not part of the protest, but he lost his life as a result of violence that erupted.
Yusuf Danso Hospital. They should come and pay for the medical. He now just carried his bag on his way going. Police started shooting. They're now shooting at the back of his head. The person that is carried on top of the machine, he fall, he broke his jaw and he was shot at his stomach. He's still in the 44 hospital up to now.
The already devastated family says his death has created a great vacuum.
We are in pains and have no one to feed us at this time. He would go out every day and fend for us. He was not part of the protest. He was only on his way to the hospital to see his daughter, who was admitted. There he met his death.
He died and left 13 children and 7 dependents living in the rented home.
We're on the rent house, so we don't know how to do. Our issue is that we need government to intervene into this issue. For government to bring that police that shot him and to know how they will do with his children.
And he is the one helping us. He's already died. We don't have anybody now. Please, government, enter this issue.
The remains of Hussein Tur was laid to rest at the Agbapa cemetery as relatives and sympathizers pray for the repose of his soul. Bello Musa, Trust TV News, Kaduna.
In Bauchi State, persons with disabilities are demanding justice after one of them was manhandled by the security agents in a viral video during the #EndBadGovernance hunger protest on Thursday in the state. The incident occurred at the main gate of Bauchi State Government House. Now, Trust TV's Adamo Imam tells us more in this report.
Hamza Waziri said he is fighting for the right of the common man, and government should realize that a significant number of Nigerians are hungry. He added that constitutional provision gives every person right to express their views over issues of governance.
That's not true. There is no any barricades. I just went in front of a public building, and that's the Bor State Government House. carrying a placard with an inscription of saying, "No to nepotism, job opportunity for all, not only for the rich and the powerful politicians, say no to bad governance." That was what my placard was carrying. And I'm peaceful and civilized. So what happened is the police jumped the fence and said that I have captured their face in the video, which I didn't do that.
We decided to join the hunger protest on Thursday. We selected the educated among us so that we conduct ourselves and do a peaceful demonstration. Then police officers came and started harassing us close to the gate of Government House and beat our leader, also tried to snatch his phone. His associates sympathized with him over the attack by security agents during the hunger protest in the state.
It is a shame, and I hope that the Inspector General of Police, the Executive Governor of the state as the Chief Security Officer, would investigate and bring this officer, to book, because this is dehumanizing and it's unacceptable. And the Nigerian people are just saying, this hardship affects every one of us, be it citizen, be it security personnel. This is our country and we want it to be better.
They were using stone to be stoning people, even the police. They were stoning the police, they were burning tires, they break the road, they barricade the roads. They were trying to create a lawful assembly and a lawful society where the police cannot agree with that. Under the Constitution of Nigeria, we have the legal mandate, the powers to arrest anybody that is trying to create mayhem.
The state government had issued a press statement directing a thorough investigation into the viral video showing security guard physically assaulting a person with disability during the protest. Adam Imam, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
Away from Nigeria, 2 men claiming to be Russian nationals and saying they were taken captive in Niger by militants linked to Al-Qaeda have appeared in a video published on a media platform affiliated to the extremist group. The video, which appeared on the Azalaka platform on Friday night, showed 2 men who said they were seized by the militants while working in Baga in northeast Niger. The men, seated side by side and dressed in traditional local clothing, spoke into the camera. One identified himself as Yuri, saying he is a geologist and was working for a Russian company when he was arrested by JNIM, the Al-Qaeda affiliated group in the region. The other man, who also said his name, which said he had been in Niger for a month. Sources are yet to independently verify the video or the date it was filmed, while the men did not say when they had been detained. It is the first known sighting of the men. If their account is confirmed, they would be the first Russians in the Sahel believed to be kidnapped by terrorists, despite a strong and growing Russian presence across the region. Still on the foreign, the Republican presidential candidate, Donald Trump, on Friday said he had agreed with Fox News to debate Kamala Harris on September 4. Trump's post came hours after Harris secured the Democratic Party's presidential nomination as the standard bearer in November's election. Trump's White House bid was turned upside down on July 21st when President Biden, aged 81, facing growing concerns about his age and lagging polling numbers, withdrew his candidacy and backed Harris. Biden bowed out following a disastrous debate performance against Trump in June on CNN. A second Trump-Biden televised debate had been scheduled for September 10th on ABC television. That was expected to remain in place with Harris replacing Biden, but Trump spokesman Stephen Choeng last week said it was inappropriate to schedule it before Harris was formally the Democratic nominee. In his post, Trump gave details of the debate venue and the moderator, saying it would be held before a full audience. And finally, in sports, Koinsola, Ajayi and Favour Ashe claimed a place in the men's 100-meter semi-finals at the ongoing 2024 Olympic Games on Saturday. The duo were making their debut at the Olympic Games. Now, Ajayi won his 5 in 10.02 seconds, beating Olympics champion Lamont Marcel Jacobs into second position at 10.05 seconds. Ghana Abdul Rashid Saminu came third in a time of 10.06 seconds. Ashe finished fourth in heat 4 behind Jamaica's Oblike Seville, Japan's Abdul Hakim Sani Brown, and Thailand's Therapul Bonboon. Ashe, however, sealed his place in the semis after grabbing the last non-automatic sport. In swimming, Ada Kunwandu finished second in heat 6 of women's 50 meters freestyle behind Elizaveta Pechersky. The 16-year-old, however, failed to make it to the final. And with that, we've come to the end of news updates at this hour. For more news, programs, and documentaries, be sure to follow us on all our social media platforms and on our YouTube live stream. I am Chiamaka Nwafo. Thank you for joining us.